Test, test. Testing, testing. I think I got this figured out. Let's take a look, hold on. If I can mess around with this a little bit before we get started. If you're just coming in, make sure you hit that like button. We're gonna get started very shortly. Oh, nice, nice, nice. All right. All right. Excuse me. All right, this is history in the making here. Welcome to our very first live stream for the FM podcast. I'm your host, The Black Man. Thank you. Excuse me. All right, so I'd like to start the stream describing exactly what our show is and what we are aiming to do with this channel. So our show is investigating inconsistencies in the popular media propaganda. Now, what is that? So, excuse me. So the modern media propaganda would include television shows, movies, commercials, pretty much any kind of social media. So that's what we do on this channel. We primarily focus on television shows and movies, but we also cover all aspects of popular media, which is what we're going to be getting into in our stream later. So again, make sure you hit that like button on your way in. Excuse me. Now, if you want to know a deeper look at propaganda, make sure you go check out our first episode. It's up now on our channel. So we take an excuse me, sorry. So we take an extensive look into not only propaganda today, what would be classified as propaganda. We take a look at the history of propaganda and the role in society that propaganda has played. So again, if you want a more detailed look at what we define propaganda as, make sure you go check out our very first video. It is up right now. We take a very, very good look at propaganda, the history of it, and the role that it plays in society. I'm kind of new to this. All right, so on this channel, on this channel we find those inconsistencies in the propaganda matrix, if you will, and we investigate. So that's what we're going to be doing today. On our stream, we're going to be taking a look at a concept that the modern media likes to push onto young men and women, and we're going to break it down Give me 1 second. So if you can't tell, we're going to be taking a look at a couple of clips. Got one with Vivica Fox. Definitely got to stay hydrated. All right, let me get back to this. So we're going to be taking a look at a couple of clips I have lined up, but let me get back to this. All right. But first, we're going to be talking about men's greatest asset when it comes to dealing with women and what that is exactly. So you may ask, what is a man's greatest asset? Well, it's not money or finances. It's not attractiveness. It's not even game or frame or any of those things. The most valuable asset that men have today when dealing with women is time. Let's let that sink in. Time. Time is more to the benefit of men than it is to women. And the modern media propaganda, they know this. And they constantly attack this concept, which is what we're going to be covering in today's clips. So we're going to break down exactly how they attack this concept of time being more valuable to men than it is to women. Or at least not being more valuable, being more to the benefit of men than it is to women. Because remember, earlier I talked about there's one of two ways in which they can do this. I talked about them earlier. They can either emasculate masculinity or they can exalt femininity. So what you're going to see is one of these things taking place every time they attack this concept. You often see them attack this concept even on social media through men's willingness to date younger women, although most women say that they want older men, which is kind of weird to me. I always thought that was weird. But also, they attack the man's ability to have children later in his life. And you'll see that a lot of the times they'll talk about the sperm declining after a certain age. And I might do it. If I get enough comments, I might do an episode on that. I think we should definitely break that down. I could definitely look up and do some research on that. But I don't want to get sidetracked. Excuse me. I don't want to get sidetracked. Let's continue on. Excuse me. Now, before I get into those clips, again, I want y'all to hit that like button. If you're just tuning in, if you're just coming in, hit the like button on the video. We're talking about a man's greatest asset when it comes to women, which we have already stated is time. Time is more to the benefit of men than it is to women. As the popular saying goes, Mother Nature gives women their gifts and Father Time takes them away. Now, excuse me, let me go ahead and line up these two videos. So I want to get them on the correct part. Now, again, this is our first time live streaming. So again, if you like this type of content, you want to see more of this type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification. You're going to get all of our future updates and brand new content. And we have something that we're actually about ready to put out. So again, you're going to want to make sure you're subscribing to this channel so you get all those updates. But again, like I said, on this podcast, we primarily focus on movies, television shows, and the narrative that they push, because a lot of people watch movies, a lot of people watch television shows, especially nowadays in the streaming wars that we have going on. You know, you have your abundance of streaming options when it comes to television shows, at least. I would say movies definitely too, but more so television shows. All right, let me get this set up. All right, so today we're going to be taking a look at two separate clips, and as you saw probably from the thumbnail, one of them is at least one of them is with Vivica A. Fox. We're going to be breaking down an interview that she does on, I think it's The Real. Let me just pull up this. Give me 1 second. All right, I don't know how long this stream is going to be, but we're gonna have fun with it. This is our first stream, so this is definitely groundbreaking. I didn't think it would actually be as difficult to be as difficult as it was setting this up, and I'm just not as capable with the technology as some of the other YouTubers. Again, I was born a while ago. I'm not going to tell you when, but let's just say that I was born before the internet. That's a wide range, but anyway, all right, I think I have the video pulled up, but like I was saying, before I get into that video, I actually want to share a personal story of my own regarding a woman that I knew and time, and how it affected both of us. So, excuse me, give me 1 second. All right. Now, how long ago was this actually? Hey, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button because we definitely need to grow this channel, and each subscriber helps us immensely. So we would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button, but definitely hit the like button as well before I get into this story, this personal story of mine regarding time. Now, trying to make it anonymous so it doesn't sound familiar, but either way, this is actually about 20 something years ago. Jesus, I'm not old, but I think this was about 21, 22 years ago, and I was working at a restaurant, we'll say a restaurant, and there was a girl that worked there as well. She was let's say, I think 17 or 18, and we'll call her Cinnamon. Yeah, I like that, Cinnamon. She looked like a cinnamon bun. I'm not even gonna go there. That's just too much. But when I think I was about 15 or so, she was like a few years older than me, and this is where I learned a lot about just like women and dealing with women as I got older. She was an older woman. Oh, and did I mention she was a mama. She was a single mama, I believe. And I think she had a boy, and he was about 1 or 2 years old. But I used to I used to be in love with this chick. I come to work, I'm talking about I got the biggest smile on my face because, well, I know Cinnamon's working, so I know it's good. I get to see Cinnamon, and anytime that for some reason, like something came up, she wasn't able to make it to work, oh man, it put me in a sour mood. So I used to want to date this girl, and I think she knew this. Of course she did. She was a few years older than me, but I don't think she ever saw me as anything other than, you know, a young teenager working at this restaurant with her. But I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, this girl, I was like in love with this chick, and she was nice. She was a nice girl. And the reason I tell you all of this is because I just want to give some background to it wasn't like I was bitter at the girl. She never did anything like that was mean to me. She was actually very nice. I was just too young to understand how to even, you know, approach a woman at that age. So anyway, fast forward, I would say about 20 years, 21 years, and I run into this girl. I say girl, I should say woman. I run into this woman at the local grocery store because I moved away for a time, and then I came back home, and I honestly didn't even notice, or I didn't recognize her. I don't think I was even paying attention. I just heard a nickname called that I hadn't heard in a long time. It was a nickname that she gave me, or that when we worked together. But I didn't know where I had heard it from, but I knew it sounded familiar. So I turned around and I see like an older woman that was older. She was heavy. She was on the heavier side, and she had about 2 or 3 kids with her. Now what I didn't know was this is actually the girl that I was like in love with all those years ago, and I didn't even recognize her, you know. And the son that she had at the time, well, he's you know, I'm looking at him about eye to eye. He's like a grown man now. And, you know, she was talking to me for a second before I realized. I was like, oh yeah, this is so-and-so, this is Cinnamon. And I'm just like looking at her, and I'm like, I can't believe that I used to fantasize about this chick. And I'm looking at her now, and I see how time has been to her, you know, how she's gained weight. When I knew her, she was like, I would say she was like an athletic build, slim athletic. I think she played basketball before she got pregnant, but she was heavier. Her face was bloated. She had like 3 kids in tow, and she tells me that she ends up having 3 more kids. I think she didn't have one of them with her that day, but I'm just looking at this versus when I was actually 15 or 16, and how I thought, you know, this is my only shot. This is, you know, I'll never be able to find a girl like this. This is what I want young men to understand, that there's a popular saying back in the day. It's like, girls are like buses. Miss one, next 15 won't coming, right? So I think that men should understand that as time goes on, the things that would benefit you are actually amplified, right? Time only does better for you if you're working on the things that you should. So for me, it's like I'm a lot better off than I was obviously when I was 15 or 16, but I even look around to some of my peers that are about the same age, and I'm not doing bad, but I'm not doing the greatest, but I'm not doing bad either. And I just realized that time, even though I'm not doing the best, time has still benefited me. She was able to recognize me. I didn't even recognize her. And that's because for the most part, I try to take care of myself. I keep myself in shape. Need to get back to my workout regimen, but that's neither here nor there. But so the point of that long story, I go all the way off the rails with that story, is that time benefited me more than it benefited her. And as I get older, it's only going to benefit me more than it would her, because I think she's probably, let's just say she's in her 40s, mid to late 40s, right? What we're going to be looking at today is a clip of Vivica A. Fox, and one of the clips, she's actually celebrating her 60th birthday. You know, we have a lot of people that actually did a video on this one, so let's go ahead and load up one of those videos. I know I went on a while talking about that sweet, sweet sentiment. All right, I don't want to get too bogged down in that story though, but the whole point of that story was that time benefits you more as a man than it does women. And what you're going to see in popular media, movies, television shows, and even daytime television shows such as The Real or The View, things like, I think the Today Show as well, you're going to see attacks on that concept of time, either through exalting the feminine or emasculating the masculine. So I think in one of these clips is going to be the former. So let's go ahead and get this clip loaded up. Again, I need y'all to hit that like button. Hit that like button on this video. Our first live stream FM podcast. Come on. Make sure you hit the subscribe button as well. So let's go ahead and start this clip up. So fair use. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna start this one right here. All right. I gotta figure out how to work this thing. Here we go. I'm getting there. Again, make sure you hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button at the FM podcast. I think I got it figured out. Here we go. All right. I do. I have it figured out.
Excellent.
You brought up your godson, and I know you are a proud godmama. You love that boy more than anything.
I actually have 6 godchildren.
You have 6?
I know. Christian was the one.
Christian was the first.
I know. Christian was like my golden child, and he still is.
Okay.
But no, I have 6 godchildren.
Okay, recently someone in an interview asked you if you wanted to maybe adopt so that you can leave something, your legacy. You can leave.
All right. So the first thing I want to point out is that this clip is about 2 years ago. This is Vivica A. Fox. She's on the talk show The Real, which is essentially like it's an urban view, the urban view, right? And I think they're canceled actually. That's how trash they were. Now, I want you to notice how Vivica A. Fox looks in this clip, and it's only about 2 years ago, which she still looks pretty weird if you, if you Google what Vivica A. Fox looked like back in, let's say, the 90s, like during Independence Day. She looks very, very weird. So, allegedly, right, she has some work done, of course. You know, most of the female actresses, for sure. You don't see it too often in male actors, which is, again, because female actresses understand that time is not on their side, right? There's a new hot young thing daily. Now, I think one of the extreme cases for a man, Mickey Rourke, and ironically, on another clip, she actually brings up Mickey Rourke's name, but Mickey Rourke, I think he botched his face allegedly with a lot of plastic surgery and whatnot. But I just wanted to point that out, how Vivica looked. Let's go ahead and start it back up. Now, let's see, let's go back a little bit so we can, all right. All right, here we go.
If you wanted to maybe adopt so that you can leave something, your legacy, you can leave it to someone.
Yes.
What I want to know is, why is there pressure for women to have children? You have a full, beautiful life.
I do.
Do you feel like you need to do this?
No, and to be honest with you, I had no idea that this question was going to go viral.
Yeah.
And how much of a discussion that
It's
brought
become.
up with
Yeah.
people. I mean,
All right, so I want you to notice the attack on the topic of women. Having pressure to have children. That's their own biological clock inside. So that's a lot of women already have that, what they call like baby fever, right? They start to see their peers, their female peers having children, and it kind of makes that biological clock tick ever so loudly. So I just want you to notice that. Let me go ahead and get that set back up. All right, so I want you to notice that they attack the idea that there's pressure on women to have children, when a lot of that pressure comes from women themselves. So this is a show full of women talking this topic with her. So the pressure typically comes from other women. Now, the reason they feel that pressure is purely biology, because again, time is not to the benefit of women as it is for men. But let's go ahead and keep going.
people were angry at this lady, like, how rude. You know, I can't believe she asked Miss Busy Vivica that.
Right.
And
We felt that way.
well, you know, when I think that's an old way of thinking.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, it was like motherhood or career.
Yeah.
And nowadays, that's the old way of thinking. Nowadays, you can have it all.
Absolutely.
All right, so that is not true. No one can have it all, at least at once, men or women. Life is about choices, and those choices sometimes require sacrificing, sorry. Now, we know that women, later in life especially, have trouble attaining it all. We actually got a episode in the works right now where we actually talk about this more in depth. Now, women later in life have trouble attaining the things that bring them happiness and fulfillment. And we talk about this later in the episode, so I'm not going to get into it right now, or not this episode, but we have an episode we're going to be pushing out. So I don't want to get into it right now, but This is the reason why time is not to the benefit of women. Because later in life, women have trouble attaining the things that bring them happiness and fulfillment, such as family and children. Whereas men, later in life, have no issues attaining the things that would bring them happiness and fulfillment. So there's that lie. No one can have it all. So she's lying. Vivica's obviously lying. No one can have it all, not even men. Life is about sacrifices, choices, trade-offs. All right, let's go ahead and keep playing this. Make sure make sure I say fair use. Keep it going.
You really can, and I just don't think that women should have to choose between a career and children. You can have it all. You can have a career, you can have children, y'all can travel, y'all can have dogs.
Yeah.
Just do whatever you like. Okay.
And you know, back in the day, Viv, you had the exes.
Now before I don't even know what to refer to this chick as, but before we get into what she's about to ask Vivica, let's address the lie that Vivica just told again to women. So she told women that they can have both careers and children. Now again, I'm not going to get into it on this episode or this stream, but I have an episode that we're working on currently, right now, in which we debunk this very lie that women, a lot of modern women, like to push, which is that modern women can have it all. They can have both children and careers. She just lied to women. Now, it's ironic because this is seemingly the issue with Vivica. She is unable to have both a career and children, as we'll find out later in this clip. She wants children of her own, or she wanted children of her own, but again, because time is not to the benefit of women, she is past that window of actually having children of her own. But I don't want to get too far on that. I want to get into what, you know, the chocolate Stay Puft Marshmallow chick is about to ask Vivica, so let's get into that.
I mean, I remember your marriage, I remember 50 Cent.
Oh, yeah,
Would you have considered having children with any of your exes?
Well, I almost made that. I was engaged, and 3 weeks before 3 months or something like that, before I got married, my family was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm glad they said that, too. Okay?
I love your family.
That was the only time that I think that I was really, the main reason I wanted to get married, to be honest with you, was because I wanted to see my eyes.
Yeah.
All right, so again, you heard what she said. She wanted to have children with her own eyes, essentially. She wanted to see her eyes in her own children. But again, she's past that window because, again, time is not to the benefit of most women. And I would say pretty much all women, but you know, there is obviously, nothing is absolute. There are no such things as absolutes. Or, I don't want to say that either. Let's just say that a lot of women struggle with this because time is not to their benefit. If they get to past a certain age, they are unable to actually successfully have children of their own. And even IVF, we talk about this, or, you know, I discuss this in a episode that we're working on currently, in which I break this down very, very deeply. I go into a lot of detail about, you know, IVF and, you know, women believing that they can have children later in their lives. So I don't want to get into it on this episode, but again, we noticed that time is not benefiting Vivica A. Fox. Now, Lonnie poses a question to Vivica A. Fox about having children with one of her exes, as if she's in control of that, as if she can actually have an impact on that. Not only because of time, well, time is not on her side to be able to have a child with one of her exes. This woman is like, at this time, I think she's at least in her mid-50s. And this goes to a crazy, shocking stat that I talk about on a later episode, in which women believe, you'd be shocked that a lot of women believe that much later in a woman's life, she is still able to have children, to actually successfully bring those children to term. And it's crazy. Again, if you want to check out that clip, if you want to check out that video, you're gonna want to make sure you hit the subscribe button. You're gonna make sure you want to subscribe to this channel, because you're not going to get any other content like this anywhere on YouTube. We're doing the God's work over here. All right. So again, she poses a question to Vivica A. Fox like she has any control over it, and not to mention the men that are her exes. Well, time is probably been much better to them than Vivica A. Fox. So why would they go back with Vivica A. Fox? Doesn't make any sense. But let's continue on. Got a couple more minutes here. We're probably not going to watch the whole thing, but I want to move on to our next clip, and then we're going to end our stream very shortly.
I could have seen you with 50 Cent.
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. All right. Obviously, this chick here, I think her name's Lonnie. I think she's asking her about 50 Cent. This is the title of the clip, right? 50 Cent.
It was because I wanted to see my eyes.
Yeah. I could have seen you with 50 Cent.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, and that is the relationship that people just will not
We
let go
love
of.
it. We love it.
Why?
Because I remember the first time he flirted with you. It was at the awards.
BET Awards.
You had on that crochet dress.
No, it was,
Ooh,
a
I
purple,
remember.
it was a purple dress with
It was
pearl lining.
Yeah, okay, but look in the crochet, Viv. And he said, Miss Vivica A. Fox, you remember?
I want to thank you for wearing
like,
that dress.
Yes.
And I don't know why lately it's making a new round. They tag me constantly on Twitter, but y'all,
It's the
Curtis has
generation.
got a new woman and
Yes,
I
he
got
does.
a new man.
Yeah.
We're
Okay.
good.
All right.
Right.
We just.
All right, you see them. They're wanting to relive their glory days. She wants to go back into her glory days, right? Where she was young and attractive, and time just benefited. This is where you start to see the crack a little bit. If you actually are watching this and you're actually reading it between the lines, you actually start to see the crack in their messaging, which is, well, time hasn't benefited you. She talks about at the end, right before I paused it, that he's got a new girl, I got a man, we're good, right? But we're gonna see, not even a couple years later, she's back single on the market. I think that's the clip that most people are reacting to. So let's go ahead and wrap this clip up, and then we're gonna get into that clip, because that's the viral clip that's going around right now. And yeah, we wanna break that down. We wanna give our own little take on that. Let's go ahead and finish this clip out.
Leave it out there.
Yeah, oh, I know. What, you never know. Ben and Jen got back together, who knows?
Oh.
But I doubt it.
I love it.
Heard it here.
But I just saw right now, you almost got emotional talking about the possibility of having a child.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one regret in life. I mean,
Really, you would
not to
say
see
that's
my
so-
eyes, yeah, in a child, but, my God, babies.
Well, are you dating anybody right now?
Now again, does she seem like she's good? And this is, I keep going to this new episode that we're gonna be putting out. So again, I need y'all to hit that subscribe button because you're not gonna get any other content like this on YouTube. But I keep referencing this episode that we're gonna be putting out soon. And that is, she is not happy. She does not seem happy or fulfilled. Even though she's got 6 grandsons and grandkids, whatever, not grandkids, I'm sorry, godkids, right? She does not seem happy or fulfilled. You start to see that facade cracking. You know, she's sniffling a little bit. You can tell she's not okay with not being able to have children. And this is the future for a lot of modern women. Now, Vivica obviously is a an extreme case, but you start to see this facade cracking. You as long as you read between the lines, you can see that although they're trying to promote that as you get older as a woman, time benefits you. We are seeing in real time, we're seeing the real proof that time is not a benefit to Vivica A. Fox, as it is not to a lot of modern women. And again, Vivica A. Fox, she's famous, she's well known, she's wealthy, and just think, if she can't, think of what the modern average woman has to go through. They don't have nowhere near her money, resources, fame, notoriety. So again, time is not a benefit to women, but we see them pushing this message that it is. How are they pushing that message? They are trying to exalt femininity as they age, and it is not a benefit to them. We can see that in real time, on the reel, right? So let's finish off this clip, and then I'm gonna get into our last clip before we end the stream.
Now?
Yes.
Yes.
Very happy.
Good.
Very, very happy dating someone, and it's someone that's not in the business, and
Great.
and he makes me very happy.
I get emotional like that too when I think about children and
Yeah.
what could have been. So that's why it's something to me to see you like this.
Like I love children. I mean, I really do. And if it's the one regret that I do have in life is that but my God babies bring me so
Yep.
much joy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to be bringing her so much joy. So you see the ladies try to give Vivica cover when, I think her name is Lonnie, talks about, I get emotional about, I see, I get emotional about these things too. No, Vivica's getting emotional because time has not benefited her. She missed her window to actually have the things that most women find that brings them happiness and fulfillment. Or she missed her window to get the things that most women find that will bring them happiness. I am messing that up for some reason. She has missed the window for attaining the things that most women would say brings them happiness and fulfillment. There we go. All right, I'm just having tongue-tied over here. So yeah, you see them giving her cover. Again, time is not to her benefit, even though they are trying to push that narrative. This is why, The View, which is garbage. I'm gonna be doing some more videos on, not The View, The Real. Well, I'll be doing some on The View as well, but definitely I have some on The Real that I'm gonna be breaking down in the future. And, there's a reason why they got canceled, because, they just they push a lot of trash, and women probably don't tune in to watch them, even though it's primarily targeted towards women. They probably didn't hit their target audience that they wanted, the target amount maybe, and they canceled the show because their messaging sucks. Women don't believe in their messaging.
They really do. But I've had a wonderful life.
Yep.
Don't think that I'm not
And it's not
happy.
over.
Yeah, and it's not over. Girl, look, I ain't running after no children. I don't think I got to do is spend the afternoon with my god babies and trust. I'm like, bye-bye, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not gonna believe that. Let's see if I can. All right, so I got another video here, and this one as well is going to be taking a look at Vivica Fox. So this is going to be a couple of years later, right? In which we're going to see in just a couple of years how time has benefited Vivica A. Fox. Again, I need y'all to hit the like button on this video. Right? You're not gonna get any other content like this on YouTube, not like the FM podcasts. Again, we're breaking narratives on the popular media with this channel. We are investigating all of these erroneous claims. All right, now we're gonna load up the second video. Now, show you how good I've gotten, you know. Man, I've come a long way. From when we first started, and I've learned quite a bit. Also, got my main man doing his work in the background, my guy Robin. So definitely make sure you hit that like button for Robin. He definitely makes sure that we have some of the best effects, best transitions, some of the best content that we can possibly produce to put on YouTube so we can compete with some of these other channels, right? We're a small channel, but we're trying to push our message out there. We're trying to get bigger so that we can open the eyes of a lot of young men. Now, make sure you hit follow on all of the social medias. So we're on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Got your boy out here TikToking. Anyway, make sure you hit the like button. We're gonna go ahead and get the second video loaded up. All right, Robin, make sure you check this out, because this is what I did right here. Oh, that ain't right. All right, here we go. I got it set up now. All right. Bam. Your boy doing this thing, right? All right, so this clip here is going to be Vivica A. Fox. She's obviously promoting a new movie, and she talks about turning 60. So this is looks like a month or so ago, and Vivica A. Fox is going to be talking about turning 60. So again, we're going to be seeing that attack on that concept of time, right? Time benefiting men more than it benefits women. So that's either going to be through emasculating the masculine or exalting the feminine. So let's go ahead and get into this clip. Let me go ahead and get this set up. All right, now this is Vivica A. Fox on Today's Show with Hoda and Jenna. All right.
You've got a big birthday coming up.
I do.
By the way,
I do.
Me too, girl.
Okay,
right.
Sexy 60.
That's right.
Coming at ya.
Y'all might even be the same sign. Are you a Leo?
Yes, I am.
I'm a Leo.
So when's your birthday?
August 9th.
July 30th.
Let's go.
Okay, we got to do some New York celebration.
So tell me what
Yes.
60, what your birthday, what that feels like as you approach it.
Oh.
All right, so we see again the exalting of the feminine. So she calls it sexy 60. Yeah, I don't know too many men that would associate 60-year-old women with sexy, but hey, this is a feminine thing to do, which is to use language to shape their reality, right? Men use language to describe reality, and women use language to shape reality. So calling herself sexy at 60, I don't know too many men that would consider a 60-year-old sexy, let alone Vivica A. Fox, but that's neither here nor there. Now, we see that these women are discussing birth signs, which is it's like stupid. Like the planets, we have moved since they started those, those constellations, those birth signs. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why women talk about these birth signs as if they actually mean anything. But here you got, two 60-year-old women. Well, I don't know if Hoda's 60. She might be similar age, but let's continue.
I usually go to Jamaica every year because my brother Marvin is born on the same day.
Oh.
But this year no, it's actually fun. Oh no, we party. Oh yeah, we do a whole weekend in New York, in Jamaica
How
usually,
fun is that?
and have a great time.
Tell me about this one though. This is different.
This one's going to be different for me. So I'm probably going to do more intimate things, like a party in LA with my girlfriends. We're going to do something because my mother's getting older in Indianapolis so that she gets to party with her kids. Yeah. And then I'm coming back. My treat to myself is to come back for the U.S. Open again, and hopefully Coco wins again.
Yeah.
Yes.
You watched it last year.
Yes, I did.
What was that like?
It was awesome. I can still feel the electricity when she hit that last shot.
Boom.
All right, so this is crazy. So notice how she kind of evades the question that Hoda asked her about how she's enjoying 60. She goes on a diatribe about her brother, going to see her brother, and she doesn't really answer the question about how she feels about being 60, what's 60 like, I think is what Hoda asked her. Give me 1 second. Now, just look at her. Tell me she doesn't look like a fried puffer fish. Tell me, just look at that face. And we think that time is not more beneficial to men than women. Just look at how a couple years have been to Vivica A. Fox. Now, obviously, it looks like she's allegedly gotten more work done, but I would say that time has not been very, very kind to her. But let's continue on because they're going to get into these questions and we're going to see how she responds only 2 years later. And these questions are obviously going to be, around time.
Building just exploded. It was
Now,
awesome.
how does 60 feel on you?
Well, my knees some days. I'm not gonna lie, my knees some days be like, okay, let's go get us some little help right there, some shots or something.
Yeah.
But I'm so comfortable in the skin. I'm
Yeah, you could
But
tell,
you
by the way.
feel it.
Thank
You're
you.
also killing it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it feels like your career has, if anything, picked up.
Yeah.
correct.
What is...
All right, so again, we notice that when it comes to time, when she or Hoda asks Vivica A. Fox, well, how does 50 or 60 feel, right? Vivica A. Fox, she jokes about, you know, her knees, anything to not answer the question seriously. And, excuse me, we see the interviewers we kind of see them, you know, delicately take her through, you know, the interview. Like they're trying to be delicate with her. They're trying to maneuver and say certain things to give her grace. Now, because she makes that joke, she doesn't really answer the question, you know, or she's making light of the question, you know, and they can obviously tell that she's uncomfortable with it. That's why Jenna Bush changes the topic a little bit when she says that that you're killing it. It seems like your career's taking off. What? This chick is Vivica A. Fox. Her career's taking off? I don't think so. Yeah. Again, this is a lie. This is a lie to exalt the feminine. So Jenna Bush just lied by saying your career's taking off. I'm sure. I'm not gonna do that because I don't know how to do that yet. But I'm sure if we looked up Vivica A. Fox's earnings, you know, the things that she played in, her career, like 20 years ago, 10 years ago even, possibly, it's going to be much greater in comparison to now. She's essentially promoting a movie that looks like it's it should be on the Lifetime channel or, you know, the BET channel, right? It's like straight to streaming. Like she was in Independence Day, right? She was in Kill Bill, and they're sitting here, or I'm sorry, Jenna Bush is sitting here telling her, seems like your career's taking off, you're killing it. This is to give her grace and to give her cover for the very delicate question they asked her when it referred to her time. You know, her time, her age, and how time has affected her. But let's go ahead and continue on. We probably got about another 10 minutes or so. We're going to break down some more of this. We're not going to, you know, watch the whole thing. We're not going to break down the rest of this video, but got about 10 more minutes left, and then we're going to end the stream. But you want to make sure you stay to the end of the stream. I have some big news. All right, let's go ahead and get this started.
Is that like, what is that?
I never expected this chapter of my life to be so booked, busy, and blessed.
Yeah.
Literally in that order. And, you know, I'm finally getting quality. You know, I'm getting projects that I love doing. You know, last year I directed for the first time.
Yes. Yeah.
We're going to work together.
Yes, we are.
Okay,
We're
girl.
working together.
Okay,
Put it,
girl.
you know what?
Okay,
We're
see
putting
you.
it out. Put it out.
Yes. And so I had a lot of drama as far as acting.
Yeah.
So when I got the chance to play Judge L'Oreal, I jumped at the opportunity. Because everything's so serious right now. So let's go
We
into
need
spring
humor.
laughing.
Tribute that all these doors are opening now. What do you think that's about? I mean, I always think like you attract what's within you, and that.
All right, again, cut it out right there because you got that manifestation nonsense that they're going into. But notice how Vivica A. Fox talks about being booked and busy all the time now, although we know from the previous clip that we broke down that she regrets not having kids to keep her busy. And so she just has nothing to focus on but her work. But like I said again, if I was to look it up, I would say that she is not, she might be working more than she did recently in the past, but I don't believe she's, you know, making as much money from film, at least, as she was back in the day. I know she has a show on BT, last time I checked, with 3 other women. So, you know, she obviously gets income from that as well. But again, they're trying to push the narrative that time has benefited her. Well, you know, by exalting the femininity, right? She manifested, and time has been so gracious to her. She's acting, she's playing roles that she talks about how great this role is, which, let's be honest, like, she's selling the movie, but you think that judge that she just referred to earlier in this clip, that was like a pivotal role or something? It's nonsense. Now, we're going to play this clip, and we're going to see them get into a little bit more of the things like dating, and we're going to see exactly how and why time has not benefited Vivica A. Fox, just like most modern women, especially when it comes to intersexual dynamics. So let's play this, keep it going.
Totally. Kind of your vibe.
Totally.
Yeah,
But
I'm all about girl power.
Yeah.
And lately, women have been giving me the most wonderful opportunities. Like my directorial debut, I got it from Tressa Smallwood of Megamind, that I directed a short for her. And she said, oh, no, Missy gets it. She gonna come in on time. She gonna make her day.
Exactly.
You know, and so the blessings have just kept flowing.
coming.
And
Wow.
finally, everyone's giving me my flowers. And it's about time.
Okay, so yeah,
And I'm taking them.
Yeah, and you.
All right, so again, she puts it on women that she's getting all of these opportunities and these blessings. You know, again, trying to push the narrative by exalting femininity. Time is beneficial to women because over time we get these opportunities. Well, Vivica A. Fox is not the modern woman. She is not indicative of most modern women and their results in their lives later. So again, this is, you know, I think the Today Show, but it's the Today Show with Hoda and Jenna. So obviously they have a narrative they want to push. It's two women that are hosting it, and they want to exalt women when they come on this show. You know, even when they're interviewing, this interview is pretty soft. They give her a lot of cover. They don't, when you ask a question, you can follow up, but you don't have to interject with more questions after. You know, just let them answer it. If they're not answering your original question, follow up with another question. And you don't have to interject, you know, you just let them talk. But what we see is them giving her a lot of grace when they ask her very personal questions at the very least. And these will be questions regarding her age, time. So let's go ahead and finish off this clip. I think we got about another minute on this clip, and then we're going to end the stream, our very first live stream. You know, I want to thank y'all for definitely clicking on the video, checking it out. Again, check us out, FM Podcast. We have a lot of videos up. We have our very first episode up, and we are coming up with some new content. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for clicking on this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
You deserve them.
Thank you,
Let's
sweetheart.
talk about what else you're wanting. Are you dating?
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm wanting to date.
Yeah.
It's limited resources out there, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not getting on an app.
No, why? You're just not into
I'm
it.
old-fashioned. I'm like, I need to meet you and sparks
Yeah,
happen
yes.
and stuff like that because I just believe people make up stories.
Yeah.
Say-
So the truth finally comes out when they discuss dating. You see that whole narrative just crumbles when they discuss dating, right? She says that it's lack of resources. and we'll get into that in a minute. But then she also blames it on dating apps. I like to just get out there and meet people. Yeah, I don't know if it's dating apps is the cause of you not being able to find a partner, but again, anything to not take accountability for her past decisions and choices. Excuse me. But when she talks about limited resources, what does she mean? Well, she means first that there's two ways that she could be meaning this. The first, limited resources. There's a limited amount of men who are willing to take her serious and date her. That's the first thing. And that could be both men who she wants and even men that might not be, or men that wouldn't have picked her as their first choice. All right. And the second thing she could mean by limited resources is the men that she do attract, they don't have a lot of money. And this is because of hypergamy. Women always want to date up and across social hierarchies. And, even though I don't think I'd have to look this up. I don't know if she makes as much as she probably does. She probably has other streams of income. So she's definitely, she probably makes at least comparable to what she made back in the day. But she wants a guy that makes at least what she makes, if not more. And, well, those type of guys that make what she make, well, why are they going to go with a bloated pufferfish 60-year-old when they could get a young, tight, taut 20-something, even late 20s, right? They could be her age and they could still get like a 29-year-old. So it could be either one of those. I tend to think that she means lack of resources as in men, because, and that's hard to say whether it's men that actually want her or men that don't want her as well, because I know a couple of dudes that might, take one for the team to be living that good life, but even they said that when I see her in that soft light, it just goes. All right, let's go ahead and finish off this clip, then we're going to end the stream.
And who and what they are.
Exactly.
And
What are you
so,
looking for at this stage, this point?
a partner.
Yeah.
And when I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not intimidated by who and what I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
That likes to travel.
Yeah.
Going to let me go shopping.
Yeah.
I feel like you just spoke it into existence.
I hope so, girlfriend.
I feel like you
so
just spoke
you got, and I'm taking applications.
Oh,
so
you
if
know,
you got a friend.
okay,
I'm good.
We'll be all.
And I don't discriminate. He can be, I'm not against different nationalities. Then you know that too.
Okay. Vivica's going to stick around. She's laying down the law. We got some hot topics coming up.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
You know, you gotta leave your options open.
So notice right at the end she says, leave your options open. Well, you just said there was limited resources, so, how are you going to leave your options open when you have limited options? She also said she was taking applications, right? She's keeping her options open, but she's taking applications. Again, this is time not being to the benefit of women, even wealthy, famous women. Time is not to their benefit, and she's almost like the woman Cinnamon that I told you about my personal story earlier. She's all bloated. This is, I would say this is actually a good point, because Cinnamon, the chick that I knew when I was a teenager that I was in love with, she looked similar, I'll say that, similar to Vivica A. Fox when she was younger. When Vivica was younger, she looked like this chick. And now that Vivica's older, she looks also like the woman that I saw a couple years ago. Right? This girl that I knew when I was a teenager. Both of them are bloated in the face. They have gained weight. And yeah, Tom just has not been as good to them as it has been to even someone like me. I would say even guys that, you know, all you gotta do is take care of yourself somewhat, you know, brush your teeth, take care of your dental, your hygiene, you know, take care of your health, making sure you're moving, making sure you're doing something to stay active. You know, a body in motion tends to stay in motion. And that is going to benefit you because the things that, you know, women find attractive in men take time. Now, let's go ahead and close out these clips. All right, so we're going to end the stream here, but again, if you are new to this channel, if you're new to, you know, watching our clips, again, make sure you hit the like button for sure. Every like is fantastic for us. It helps us immensely. It lets us know what we're doing right versus what we're doing wrong. You know, definitely comment. You know, the comments definitely help us. We figure out, you know, what you want to see more of, what you don't want to see more of. This is the only way to help this channel grow. If you want to help push this message, right? To push the message that modern media is a propaganda machine designed to emasculate masculinity and exalt femininity, then you're gonna want to hit that subscribe button. You hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell notification. You're gonna get all of our earliest updates of brand new content. And speaking of brand new content, we got our second episode coming out next week. So I'm gonna need y'all to definitely hit that like button on this video. If you want to see that second episode, we're gonna be producing it. It's gonna be pushed out next week, or we're gonna be showing some of the first clips. So again, you're not going to get any other content like this on YouTube, where we break down the media propaganda. Again, make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out. I am the Black Man. This is the FM Podcast. We want to thank y'all for joining our first live stream. It was partially a success. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. Thank you. Also give we got to give a round of applause to our engineer, Robin, in the back. Yes, thank you. And last but not least, I want to give a round of applause to you, the viewer, that helps this video, that helps this channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time.